Hey Grace families, this is Pastor David Drysdale back in British Columbia after spending the week with you all. I want to thank Pastor and Sister Bartlett for the opportunity to share with the leadership team and then with the church family on Sunday. You know, the dynamics between Terah and his son Abraham is quite something, and I'm not so sure I did a good job of giving the age sequence on Sunday. And so I wanna see if we can help you tonight and then carry the thought a little forward from Sunday. Now, when you read Genesis chapter 11, it ends with describing that Terah, Abram's father, died in Haran at age 205. Then we come to Genesis chapter 12, where the Bible talks about Abram leaving Haran at the age of 75. If you take these two events sequentially, you would get the impression that Abram left Haran when his father died. Okay? But if that was the case, that would mean that Terah fathered Abraham when he was approximately 130. That's the right math I was trying to compute on Sunday. It would mean that Terah fathered Abram at 130, and you get that if you subtract 75 from 205. Okay. But that's very unlikely that Terah fathered Abram at 130. If that was the case, that would have been breaking news, because Abram, when he fathered Isaac at 100, that was breaking news because it was so unusual to have a child that late in life. The more probable dates to work with is that since Terah started to have children when he was 70, you add another 75, which is the age Abram was when he left Haran, you would get 145. And so 145 would be the more probable age that Terah was when Abram, his son, was 75 and left for Canaan. And so for about 60 years, Terah still remained in Haran until he died. 60 years. And that shows the magnitude of the decision that Abram had to make to leave his father behind. I could have gone further and unpacked some other things, because it's interesting that Abram took his nephew, which by the way was the grandson of Terah. He removed Terah's grandson even from Terah, and it's as if to say that Terah was not in a good place. And so the Bible is very silent, but you can read between the lines that Terah probably was not in a good place. After all, he had lost his last son. Then he came to this city, this province, this parish that had the same name as his son, and for some reason he got stuck there. And Abram had to move on. But by this time, Abram didn't have any kids of his own, and so he felt it his responsibility for the next generation. And so he took Lot with him. And all through Lot's life, you can see as long as he stayed close to Abram, he was blessed. And the moment he did things on his own, he had trouble. And so one of the poor choices he made was to end up in Sodom and Gomorrah. And that did not end well. You remember that Lot's wife turned back when they were told to flee Sodom and Gomorrah, not to look back, and she became a pillar of salt. Why did she turn back? Because she was still stuck in that God-forsaken city. And Lot had to make a choice not to even turn back to look at his wife who had turned back. And so again, you see the principle of us not getting stuck, and you will see the principle of borders and barriers always being created around us with intention to cause us to get stuck. That's some of the points I was trying to bring out on Sunday, okay? So I want to encourage the Grace Workshop Ministries, don't get stuck. It's God's will that you go beyond every border that is designed to limit what God has in store for you. Remain humble, remain truthful, and continue to be vulnerable. The Grace Workshop Ministries is a very needful ministry because it's a safe place for people to be vulnerable and then to get it right and to grow. At the end of the service, I expressed what I believe was an apostolic authority of ministry coming over me, and I gave a challenge that as many who could, let's send $2,000 to Jamaica to the Grace Workshop Ministries. And I want you to take this seriously. You know, I know it will bless the Bartletts, and I know they did not put me up to do this, but I just feel it. I feel a witness in the spirit that we can sow into their ministry, not just for their need, but for your blessing. When we bless a ministry that is intended to bless us, it's amazing how God turns around and bless everyone. So I want to challenge the Grace Workshop families all across the globe, those who consider the Grace Workshop to be your home church, or just one of the few ministries that's your second home. I want to encourage you, let's just bless this ministry. And so right even in this chat, if you're not too uncomfortable, if it's not too uncomfortable for you, how about you just put a tag in and just say, my 2,000 is on the way. I've sent my 2,000. I am sending my 2,000. Yeah, let's just build the vibes here and just watch God work. God is going to bless Pastor and Sister Bartlett and the Grace Workshop team, leadership team, and the rest of the family. God is going to use them in a mighty, mighty way. I want to encourage the Grace Workshop ministry to continue being a beacon of light, and the Lord will have His way. And it's such a privilege for me to have shared with you. And looking forward to tuning in this Sunday. Whoever ministers, I know it's going to be great. God bless you all. Have a great rest of your week. In the name of our great God and Savior, Jesus Christ. Bless you.